time I came for a live stream, hoping that you're getting me loud and clearly. Yeah, it's really been a long time, It's really been so long that we haven't really had interactions with each other in regards to the status quo within the country. The last time, I think for the past 1 week or so, I think I've been having problems with my social media accounts, specifically my Facebook. My Facebook page I had Facebook suspended me, restricted my page, I should say. They restricted my page for a period of 7 days. So it barred me from accessing most of my online platforms because Bobby Young, my brother Bobby Young, you find comrades like Eddie Mutwe, the other squad of ours, the campaign team for President Robert Sentamu Chagulanyi, who are still in custody up to now. They miss their families. They would have done something very much more resourceful in their families, even up to now, if they were out. But no, the government has still hesitantly kept them behind bars for illegally, for unknown reasons, and the charges which are being levied against them are really very relevant, because like those days, that day they were grabbed from Kalanga. I don't think whether anybody was armed. Now, I don't know why they've started trying Ugandans in court martial. I saw Mobiro the other time in Miami court martial. You see, it's really something that we need to really stand against as comrades, and we really rebuke so that it doesn't continue. Because if we continue keeping quiet when things are happening not well, or things are going astray in the society or in the environment in which we find ourselves, and we do not talk, that means in Acholi we have a say that the stick which was used to cane your co-wife, you should get it and break it, because if you still leave it and you continue laughing at your co-wife, they will still use it to cane you again someday, tomorrow. So it's really important that, we continue standing against such injustices which are taking place within the society. I still continue mourning our brother Fabian Luca, the other comrade who was arrested with his colleagues from Luero as they were going to Kampala when they were found with the National Unity Platform party cards. They were arrested, and some were killed, and Fabian, of course, at last died after serious pain. According to what I got is that, like for you to incur such kind of wounds or injuries that Fabian incurred, I think they put a red hot flat iron ngatebanaji treatinga yakugola ochumanyi pase ya oluzungu teri ya not this one which are locally made zino ya luzungu pase ekola na masanyalaze kare bateka mu kumuliro ku masanyalaze ebera red hot gakati olina yocha nyo gatemanyi naji treating, and then the bagolola skin y'omuntu, like your skin they can iron your face with the flat iron. That is what let my comrade Fabian was laid to rest. He died, of course. May his soul rest in peace. In a similar perspective also, we still continue mourning the father of a nation in Tanzania, John Pombe Magufuli, one of the most educated African presidents we have had in our time. One of the most exemplary. You've seen, in a period of 5 years, he has almost brought Tanzania to the middle income economy, which was really a very great move. For us in Uganda, we've been under Museveni for 35 years. For 34 years. He still wants another 5 years forcefully to become president, so that I don't know. 35 years, what are you doing as president? Really? We should be discussing on issues of political transition bill. We should be discussing on issues of democracy. Things should be the other way, not the way somebody is really doing. I don't even understand this man, what he has not yet exhausted, that he still feels like exhausting. So, we still continue praying for all our comrades. Mr. Updates, I saw Mr. Updates today was remanded to Chitalia prison, government prison. We still continue praying for him. We know there's a number of trials which are happening right now. You see, Mr. Updates, you see, I saw is it Obachidanjala, I don't know. Any kind of fight which is happening against, you see, like comrade Kambabura Mazima, Musazino, Chichife Tudina Ukola Musazino, Ngaba comrades, people in the struggle, Tudina Kovera consolidated. Gabari kulwana Mr. Update, Fabiona to get to Luanere Mr. Update. Tewala Muntasora kulwana Mr. Update, Gafe Tulikulaba. Gabari kulwana Oli Mugana Wange to get to Muluanire. Ochegea, we need to develop the spirit of brotherhood, the spirit of sisterhood, the spirit of comradeship. Ochegea, if we are to win any kind of battle which is ahead of us. So there is still a lot of time. I do not need anybody to give up or to lose hope that there is nothing, or there is something coming, and there is that thing coming. You prepare. On that, I still continue asking you to take care of yourselves, continue remaining strong, and do always let people know where you are about, because there are people who can disappear. You might think, I don't know. In Sagara, like one day, someone to begin thinking that strike machine has disappeared. In the Wendy. Yeah, as I've always told you, I'm Strike Machine, the Deputy National Youth Coordinator of NUP Northern Uganda, and the Regional License Officer. Anyway, today what brought me into this discussion is that it's about the oil, Uganda's oil reserve, Fetulina oil. Uganda has a lot of oil. Recently, what made me really get very pissed, I wrote an article and I published on my page. Very many comrades asked me to come live to try to give in an indication or an hint into the issue of the oil and all this stuff. Anyway, before I go into the oil thing, you saw the other time that there was COVID-19 vaccine which has come to Uganda, which has been donated to Uganda. One, I do not say that, I do not discourage anybody from going to take those shots, those jabs of vaccine, but I still say let people do it at will. Forcing vaccine. That is, you don't need to force somebody. And whoever wants to go and take that vaccine, go at will and make the decision. Let it be in your consent. According to your consent, what your consent tells you. If that is the best you want to go and do, go and take the vaccine. If you don't want, don't force yourself to go because somebody is forcing you to go and take the vaccine. So that is one that I need to tell you in regards to the vaccine. So I don't want to say that the vaccine is bad. I've had a lot of stories and I've had a lot of theories about the vaccine. I'll one time talk, come and discuss. I have very many things that I wish to talk about, but sometimes I get so committed and really caught up. I'll come and talk one day about the population control theory. Majorly will discuss issues of around the Malthusian population trap theory. What you see, let me tell you, issues of population control came very long way. In 2,400 years ago, Pilate, this guy who crucified Jesus, Philato, we call it in Acholi, we call it Philato. Pilate was brought that idea. Many people have developed theories in regards to population control rate, plans or strategies, whereby the population must be kept in check and balance before time goes forth. Otherwise, people are some of the foreseers or the forecasters, I say, the predictors. They could have a view that one time, if the population is not kept in control, check and balance, it might have some very bad implication. Anyway, that is something that we shall discuss some other day when I prepare a package in that context. Now, today I'm talking about the oil deal. You Ugandans, you need to wake up. The problem is that I've been publishing a number of articles in regards to what could be transpiring at that particular time that could have led to my establishment or to my publication of such pieces. I don't know if you guys or many people really follow. I still continue asking you share so that many other people come and join. Because if I'm to begin discussing and bring in my submissions in regards to what the main subject matter, I feel that everybody who had been wanting so much to really listen to this view or to this issue of the oil thing, listens to it once and for all. I will not repeat it again because I will have to talk about some other thing next time. But for today, what I want to discuss with you is about the oil thing. I'll give a debrief, a very small debrief. Then we shall come back to talk about some other issues and all the stuff. Now, the oil thing. This oil of oil, yeah, you saw the other time a lot of drama has been up. Uganda is a very wealthy nation. We are a self-contained nation. We are blessed with all sorts of minerals. Oil, talk of gold, talk of wherever, gold in Karamoja, oil, we have oil in Amuru here, in northern Uganda we have oil in Amuru here, in Oyima we have oil in Oyima, we have oil in, we have oil almost everywhere, we have resources, natural resources, we are blessed with it. But the issue is, the leaders whom we have entrusted with the power, to take care of those things, or to administer, or to oversee the exploitation or the utilization of resources in that parameter? Are they really doing the needful, or they are really, So this is something that we need to question ourselves. We need to ask ourselves, how are things working? We need to be concerned about Uganda. First of all, we are in a struggle, right? But one, we need to first of all be concerned about what kind of Uganda we want to have. If you're to be concerned about Uganda, you must first of all know what Uganda has and what Uganda does not have. And how can Uganda get what it doesn't have, and also use what it has without harming, without causing any harm into the future. This is one thing that you need to look into. If you get that calculation, everything will be okay. But if we still do not know this perspective that, what does Uganda have that is really valuable to international market or to the world, that everybody, every white man, everybody would want to come and really see or want to exploit? What doesn't Uganda have, and what can we do to get what we don't have? You get my point? So these are things that we need to first of all look into. Now, when we look into that, this brings me to the perspective of the oil. Right now, first of all, we have an oil deal which is happening, the oil pipeline project. The oil pipeline project, which is it starts from here. The origin is from the pipeline project, which starts from Uganda in Hoima up to Dar es Salaam in Tanzania. You get my point? That pipeline project, the pipeline oil, a Jakova from Uganda wano in Hoima, a Jakuyita via wherever it is going to pass up to Tanzania in Dar es Salaam. Now, you listen to how the share holdings or the percentage has been allocated on the ownership of the oil has been allocated. One, Uganda, which is the owner of the oil. We who are the owner of the oil. Uganda, as Uganda, we are Uganda. We are Ugandans and we are in Uganda. We are the government, of course. We have representatives who misrepresented us, I think, in some calculations. Because we who are the owner of the oil as Uganda, we are owning only 15% of this oil pipeline project. Total, Total? This company, Total, is all over the country. It's going to own 45% of the oil project. Total will take 45% of the oil project. Now, Chinese Sinok. Sinok is its headquarters is around Acacia Avenue. It's at Acacia Avenue. Sinok, Bajita Sinok is a company, a Chinese-based company. So Chinese is going to own 35% of this oil deal, the pipeline project, whereby we transport crude oil through a pipeline from Kampala, from Uganda up to Tanzania in Dar es Salaam. That is where the crude oil is going to be destined before it's transported to the world market for processing or for refineries and all those whatsoever, you name it. Now, a Tanzania Petroleum Corporation Company, for Tanzania will take 5% of this oil pipeline deal. Now, if you say somebody who owns, as I stated initially, I need to repeat again. Listen to me very carefully. Uganda is in terms of shareholding. Let me say shareholding, capacity, olina ownership, ownership yo project elientia. So Uganda is taking 15% of the shares, owns 15% of the 100% shares in that oil pipeline project. Total, this Total which you have been always seeing and you've been looking, seeing wherever. Total owns 45% of the shares in this oil pipeline project. Total, which is not a Ugandan company, is a foreign company, owns 45% of this oil share. Ochegera. Ngame wuni Total, elina 45%. Anyamu tano. Percent anyamu tano. Ochegera. Percent, almost half. Ochegera. Total owns it. Now, when Total owns 45% and Uganda is owning 15%, you come, Chinese company called Sinok. bajita Sinok balina offices eri ku Acacia Avenue au mu Kampala goli mu Kampala ova mu Acacia nga ogenda wali ku golf course gogenda ku golf course that Kuluno Street the Acacia Avenue ojako funa office ya Sinok Chinese based company. It's owning 35%, which is even more than that of Uganda, because Uganda is owning 15% only on our oil, not their oil. Our oil, we are owning only 15%, but Chinese Sinok is going to own 35%. Asatu mutano, ochegera. Asatu mutano, ga Sinok ejako vera na asatu mutano. Ga Uganda fitulina 15. 15%. Uganda is having 15%, Sinok is having 35%. Total is having 45%. These are foreign-based companies. They're not Ugandan companies. You get it? Now, you come to Gundi. Tanzania Petroleum Company. Since this thing is going to pass via Tanzania and it's going to go up to the coast, the other side where the oil is to be, extracted from there now from the pipes and those machines for exportation. I don't know where they will do the refineries from Tanzania or what. Now, Tanzania takes 5%. So in terms of arrangement, Total takes 45%, Sinok takes 35%, Uganda takes 15%, and Tanzania Petroleum Company Corporation takes 5% because this thing passes through their land and the extraction and all those stuff. Now, you see, according to law, there is what we call the corporate governance law. Bajita corporate governance law. Oshegera. Corporate governance law, according to its citations, it says that now the person who holds the highest percentage of the shares who must own the project. Now, in this regards, it is not owned by Uganda because Uganda takes a lower percentage than two companies. First of all, the Total takes 45%. So this is a Total's project. It's for Total. Oshegera. Now, yet you need to understand one thing. The other time, the Minister of State for Finance went to Parliament of Uganda with Minister of State eya Finance mu Uganda wano. Yegenze ne budget mu Parliament gun bayagala kugenda kusaba loan from foreigners, from foreign companies like World Banks or wherever they want to borrow the loan from. Bayagala saba loan of 481 billion Ugandan shillings. Bayagala saba loan gunti bayagala kolane something bayita historical cost. Now, when I talk, now this thing now become complicated. When I begin talking in economic terms, let me say historical cost. Historical cost, elichi in our layman terms. And also, first we need to understand that by the virtue of fact that we own a very small and a very low percentage in this deal, there will be a lot of problems that we shall face, because in as far as decision making, Uganda will not have much immunity or much voice on how things are supposed to be done, because we hold a smaller share, or Chegera, we hold a smaller share in the project. Now, when these guys here went, I told you about the issue of that they went to Parliament and placed a deal that they wanted to borrow 481 billion Ugandan shillings. Ngana joge de mo billion mutresola tegera mulungi billion elichi ochega billion otanika from million then oja to billion emu ilina 1,000 million ochegera 1,000 is it 10,000 iri sente enene nyo ochegera iri sente enene nyo billion emu ilina 1,000 million kare teli sente bitono ochegera. So when we talk about money, let's not just take it for granted. It's a serious thing. They are going to borrow. First of all, as I speak right now, you had even the Auditor General the other time coming to warn government on issues of excessive borrowing. We are borrowing a lot of money and investing them in useless projects which do not pay early. They take long to pay. The profits disappears and vanishes. So at the end of the day, the debt is pushed forward. There was a time when I was talking about debt refinancing. Uganda has reached a stage whereby we have to go and borrow money to pay debt. Ogenda ogenda osaba sente kugenda kudiza sente z'omuntu wasabye alya bulijjo okyegera wasabye sente y'omuntu bulijjo ogenda kusaba sente empya omuntu omulala kudiza sente z'omuntu wasabye bulijjo okyegera. So this is a very serious problem, by the way. You go and borrow money to pay loan. So instead you are pushing the loan forward, or you are pushing the debt forward. And this is a very big problem that we not made aware about. You see the problem that we have in Uganda. These media houses, mention them wherever. Mention all of them have been talking about. They have all been making noise about something very different. They have been diverting the community. These are things that they should let the country, the citizens of Uganda, aware about. Why should the Minister of State Finance go to Parliament and table a loan, a request for loan of 481 billion shillings? Yet Uganda asks only for 15% of the shareholding in this perspective. First of all, I need to remind you, Ininakuba Wurida Gunikamu, Oshega, Mudina Kutegera Gunikamu, Musazi, last time I saw Uganda Revenue Authority, the executive director of the Uganda Revenue Authority, said that they are going to only be in position in the financial year, in financial year 2021-2022, Uganda Revenue Authority will be only in position of collecting tax, total revenue that we shall have collected will be around 18.5 trillion shillings. 18.5 trillion shillings. That Uganda revenue, the total revenue that we are expecting to collect as Uganda will be around 18.5 trillion shillings. But you find President Museveni and his government, the Matia Kasaijas and the clique, they're saying that they projected that Uganda will, the national budget for financial year 2021 and 2022 to 2022 will be, yes, sorry for that interruption. That means if you subtract the 18.5 trillion shillings from 45 trillion shillings, the rest of the remaining money we shall have to borrow to ensure that we run that financial year of 2021 to 2022 successfully. Ochekera tulina kugenda kusaba sente sawa byonna ffe tulina kusaba nga Uganda tujja kusaba until there is nowhere kusaba sente. Ochekera loans, and this loan do not come just for free like that. Balina interest rates that we are supposed to pay on them. Ochekera Uganda has been spending almost the rest of its lifetime servicing interest rates on loans in kind, in public market, through bills and bonds. Ochekera, this is something very serious that you need to open your eyes about. You see, the problem is that these very sensitive informations that we do have, or that sometimes I share with you on my social media and I blog about, very many people like General Kagor Museveni do not want it even to reach you on the grassroots there. You people on the grassroots, you don't need to know this kind of information. You need to remain ignorant. You need to remain just like that, as if you don't know anything. For them, they continue to run the country, the direction they want to run it. But it's high time that you as a citizen, as a taxpayer, you get to know what is happening in the country. Why are you paying tax? Olukusasula tax kulwachi. Sente zo go sasulaga tax egenda wa. Omuntu akola ne sente ezo aletera accountability oba taleta accountability. Nga oba omuntu government go muntu asaba sente go sasula tax gatebaleta accountability. Kulwachi oyongera kusasula tax. We should pay tax to government, which is of course mandatory and it's something that is patriotic enough, but the tax should be used for the right purpose. If you pay tax and the tax is not used for the right purpose, and you want us again to continue paying tax again and again, when the impact of that tax is not felt or is not seen in the lives of a common Ugandan across the country there. For over 34 years, you've been in power, and you cannot account for all the loans we are having over, I don't know how many trillions we are having. Trillions of shillings. Yeah? This is something very serious. Right now, you go to the shore of Lake Victoria there, you find there is actually water. There is serious sand mining. Ochegera. Serious sand mining. Who are the people? They've even distributed the show of Lake Victoria among themselves. These guys. They've distributed the show of Lake Victoria among themselves. School fauna muliomu. Oli chigai alina. Oli bunda alina amani mu government alina some plot of shores of big chunk of land within the shores. Oli alina bazimbye nyumba mo swamp yona munji. Musazi mlekambabuza mazima. Ababera Kampala mulina kumbulira chigundi chino. Mumanyi babagambye mumanyi kulwachi there's scarcity of water. Did you realize that there's water rationing in Kampala? Temulina amazi munji kunywa tap water teri munji gabulijo. Do you know why? Right now the National Water and Sewage Corporation, because these dudes, I should call it these dudes, these motherfuckers have destroyed the swamp. They've constructed industries in the swamp. They've constructed mansions in the swamp. They've done what? In the swamps of Lake Victoria. So the pipe for water, water which is used to supply the drinking water, which is used in Kampala, is gotten from Lake Victoria. Is piped. The pipe has to go deep inside the lake for you to get water. For you to get water. For them to get water, to take it for purification or for whatever kind of treatment that they take before they dispatch into the city. So now I think, even I saw the other time I was reading a document that the reserve, there's what I call the reserve currencies or the reserve assets of the National Water and Sewage Corporation. It was supposed to be around 9 trillion shillings. But right now, is it 9 trillion, 9 billion? Let me say, something. But it has reduced by almost 30%. We don't know where the money went to. These are things that you should be following. You see, the problem, government goes to parliament, they read big billions and trillions of shillings allocated to various projects in Uganda. Ugandan citizens they are sleeping. Some are even drinking beer. Some are even dancing with the women. Youth, you are quiet. You don't know what is happening in your country. You as a citizen of Uganda, you need to ensure that you begin following up on how money is being used in your country. This taxpayers' money that you are paying, where does it go? Who is using them? And are these people really accounting for the money? Are they using the money for the right purpose? You must be following out these things here. But you are just there quiet, I don't care attitude. Ugandans, I don't know what is wrong with these Ugandans. Ugandans, you need to wake up. You need to wake up. Do you see what happens in Kenya? How these Owurus and the whatever are putting pressure to ensure that money is accounted for? But you Ugandans, what are you doing? You're very comfortable with what is happening in Museveni's government, in what is doing right now, You guys, you have to wake up. We have to wake up. On issues of accountability, on how money is being used in this country, you are quiet there and you're not even making any follow-up. You're just there, I don't care attitude. And you think things should continue like this? You need to wake up. Wake up. This is not how things are done. Today, the Minister of State for Finance, Minister of State Finance, comes to the floor of Parliament and asks Boo, he wants 481 billion shillings on 15% share, which Uganda has on this oil pipeline, starting from Sindh here up to Tanzania. But they want to clear what I call the historical cost. They want to clear something. Somebody is saying Ugandans have a very big problem. And if we continue with this mentality of I don't care attitude, there will come a day when you will wake up and you'll find there's no country. You see, let me tip you one thing. Like I'm tipping you one thing. The next world war that might happen will be fight against natural resource. I mean fresh water. When I say fresh water, temujukira, musazi no mulina Lake Victoria, mulina. Let me tell you one thing. Do you know the percent? Only 40%, only 30, I think only 25% of the world's water is consumable. Countries like China, countries like what, they don't have consumable water. They have to first expensively inject a lot of money in treating this salty lake. Have you ever been to the ocean? Hey, if you've been to the nearest ocean here, The nearest ocean in here that I can say is Indian Ocean. You can travel from Kampala, from Uganda here to Indian Ocean. Go and test the water of Indian Ocean. You'll get to know what really salty water is. Those are unconsumable water. You cannot consume them because the water is not good for human consumption. Once you consume them in the next, you can die. So in Uganda, we are really blessed. We are a country with a lot of fresh water. But we are not enjoying the fresh water. If today in Kampala, you find some part of Kampala, there's no water in tap. Some part of Wakisu, there's no water in a tap. Some part of Jinja, there's no water in a tap. Now, we have a very big Lake Victoria. Amazi nene, Lake Victoria nene nyo. Musazi no. To musura ngungu warindi amazi yoko nywa mutapu. Tebasola kugaba like enough. What is really happening? Mumuze mutwe zamwe. You see, these guys are rationing what they're doing because now there was a company. This is something which is really complex that, you need to do research on. You will follow my publication on this platform, this page of mine. I've been making a lot of publications. Not that many do not like reading. If you don't read me, I like always writing. I don't have much time to come for live streams because when I come for live stream, I forego a lot of things that I'm supposed to work on, and sometimes it keeps me, So, water. This is a very serious issue. You people who are living in Kampala, Jinja, Wakisu, wherever, even in Ngulu, even in Kitugum, in Lira, in Arua, why are they rationing water? We have fresh water. Water should be in every household, in every location, every day. Because we have a lot of fresh water. And these guys of the National Water and Sewage Corporations, they are just there. Another very big problem that we have, Omeme. These guys one day when we make up our mind, they will see the worst part of us. Omeme is you do not, you see, many of you, me, I was born in the year 1995. But my father, I used to interact with a number of people, like my father, my relatives, and also. These are assets that we have, water assets. Kakati, muswala kumbwe, masanyaliza unakuluzi. Ize nina yaka mu nyumba yange. Nina yaka mu nyumba yange. Sobola kubalagira, nina yaka wali. Kati, osobola kugenda kusasula 15. Bajako wa unit gasato. Unit sato yoka. Esobola kutwala just on 1 or 2 days. Omeme is very expensive. These guys have privatized. We used to have Uganda Electricity Board. Power was very cheap. Masanyalaza evede eri ngabu bwerere. Uchegera. It was very cheap. But Musazino is the contrary. Omeme has made power very, very expensive. And besides, power is not constant. They can remove power at will. They can return power at will. They can do anything with power at will because there is nobody to follow them. Because some people in the first family have shares in Omeme. So they do things above the law. They do things as if they're above the law. And just we Ugandans take it for granted. We Ugandans are taking it for granted. Power is ours. Now they're constructing multi-billion project of Karuma. You see, this power station of Ginger is enough even to supply power consistently and in a full dose, very cheaply, in whatever cost in Uganda, without even any load shedding or whatever. But you know what is happening? Uganda is exporting most of the power. They export it to DR Congo. They export it to Rwanda. They export it to what? They export it. We are busy exporting power when in Uganda we are suffering and most of the households are not having power. Or those ones who are having power, they are paying it very expensively. You know? Mulikusa sula sende za masazalizer. Sente mungi nyo. Ga Omeme erikutu changalanya ize impuro busungu nga omuntu ayogere nilinyo yo Omeme esobola kujayo masanyalaza at will, esobola kuletera at will, esobola kubera even 1 week nga Gulu City ejo imbade ni Mugulu City Omeme wa omuntu maza, like sometimes we find there's no power for 1 week or for 4 days for no reason. Power disappears at will. Oshegera fituli quiet, we see it as is normal. It's not really normal. Oshegera, it's not normal. You are supposed to have a constant power supply. We can sue Omeme in courts of law. Do you know how much I lose from power from blackout, power blackout? What if I have something in my fridge, like this small fridge? What if I have something in that fridge? Now, do you know how much I lose? What if I have some yogurt? I have some fresh thing, which perishable things in my fridge. Do you know how much I lose? And somebody just take it just for granted because I don't care. You Ugandans, you need to wake up and you need to become concerned about what is happening in Uganda. The day you wake up and you become concerned about what is happening in Uganda is the day Uganda will be shaped in the right direction. Is the day we shall bring the likes of the Musevenis, these big-headed fellas we have in Uganda in line. Uganda doesn't belong to a particular tribe or doesn't belong to a particular family. It belongs to all of us. In Uganda, we have over 52 tribes. We have very many tribes in Uganda, over 52 tribes. Very many more are to come. But still, these tribes or these people should be treated equally. You see this issue of divide and rule, whereby you want to rally. Now, there was a time I talked about that, since Chagulanyi put a lot of pressure on Museveni, if we do not see and open our eyes as Uganda very well, he will begin building what we call a anti-Buganda Uganda. Ochegera, anti-Buganda Uganda, where Ajakulagira, Abalala, all other tribes, Bundi, hey, these people are the bad one. Hey, Baganda, hey, Baganda. The issue is not Bagandas. Bagandas are also citizens of Uganda. Banyangoles are also citizens of Uganda. Bachigas are also citizens of Uganda. Aluru, West, the Madi, the Acholis, the Langis, the Bunyo, the Manyoro, all of them are citizens of Uganda. And they need to be treated like Ugandans. You get it? Because they pay the tax. They need to also get the same service delivery equally. Now, if it's being unfair, and we are quiet, because right now, you see, Echiboko, Bajikubiene co-wife, Ochimanya omusaja alina wakazi biri, mwakaye, ochegera. Let's put like this, omusaja alina wakazi biri. Lero omusajja afura obusungu ajiyo kiboko nagenza kubye mukazi oli kilala gwego mukazi oli kilala teba mukubye oli kumwenya oli kuseka abone bakubye your co-wife goli kuseka. That is oli kuseka yo kiboko bajja kukuba nawe. So this is go babade bagenze bakubye kikazi geno jeyo kali kiboko tumenye tosobola kukuba mukazi mulala ga oli mukazi mulala asirise ali kulaba ali kumwenya ali kuseka kyakisiro. Everybody needs to be concerned about what is happening to his or her neighbor. Everybody needs to be concerned about what is happening in his or her environment. First of all, Kambabura Mazima, this oil deal. You see, I studied what we call, I'm an agricultural extension professional. I am an expert in agricultural extension. In agriculture, let me say like that. I studied it from Makerere University. I'm a graduate from there. So when I'm talking to you, I talk to you from an informed point of view. Now, you see, let me tell you one thing. This construction of the oil pipeline will evict very many people, very many smallholder farmers from their lands, because bajako jakuntaka yo bajako gamuni fetiwaga entaka zino from one paka wali bayaga kuzimba waliko pipe ya oil, ya crude oil will pass via people's land, will destroy a number of land. In land when you dig, you destroy the soil composition. That is not a complicated thing. Now, soil composition. Gabali kulimentaka kuteka mo pipes bijako bere nene nyo bijako bere ga pipe bitono yamazi ejako bere nene ochegera. So pipe bijako bere nene kakati bijako twala big chunk of land entaka mungi nyo ochegera kakati bagi kugenda kulimentaka kuteka mo pipe yo wansi bali ku destroying particles of soil. They're destroying, degrading the environment. Not even that. It will pass through a number of game reserves, or a number of land, or a number of conservation areas, like forest reserves, parks, and it will destroy a number of habitats for wild and aquatic animals. In Tanzania, aquatic life at the coast will also have a lot of problems. So, this thing here is going to have a lot of implication into the as far as environment is concerned. Since we say oil deal is a good one, right, it's a good one, but I think Museveni and his government needs to go and sit down, if they're really honest to themselves, need to go and sit down and see how they should revise this ownership or the distribution of shares among the shareholders within the company. I think Uganda must have the privilege of taking the biggest percentage of the shares in the oil deal. You cannot tell me Total, which is a foreign company, is taking 45%. China's Sinok, which is a foreign company, a Chinese company, is taking 35%. And Uganda, which is the owner of the oil, is taking only 15%. And you say we should be comfortable. We should be comfortable with the 15%. Are we any Ugandans? Is all the bad things are not really good for us? I think we also deserve better. When you come and find this ojangu mu street one, ojangu mu Uganda, ofuna bavuvuka. Ofuna bavuvuka. But you find there are these ones, we call them I don't even know what they call them. What do they call these people here? This one here. This is bavuvuka ya NRM bayitawatia. This are bavuvuka. Yeah, you find Ugandans, youth. You find the way youth are clashing among themselves. Because the other side, because NRM Museveni and NRM has managed to give them some money, this a section of youth money, to go and fight, confront the youth of NUP or the youth of other political parties. You will see how we abuse ourselves. We abuse our mothers. We kill ourselves. We even go as far as stoning ourselves. Some people even go and play roles in as far as playing a role, betraying other people for other people to be kidnapped. We do dubious things because Museveni has mastered our art. He knows that we are now one, we are very ignorant. Number two, we want money. So he comes and gives you money to go and betray the other person because the other person is, most of these kidnaps which is happening within Kampala people, comrades are being betrayed. You find somebody who is in a struggle betraying that this one is the other side. Or somebody, a fellow youth, betraying a fellow youth because he was given money so that the other person is kidnapped. So you are telling me this is a good environment. And the citizens are quiet. You are very comfortable enjoying the polluted air of Kampala, the polluted air of Gulu City, the polluted air of Jinja, the polluted air of Lira City, the polluted air of Mbarara. You think you are comfortable? The other time I talked about issues of maize export. But you see, you Ugandans are very stubborn. We Ugandans, I should say, we Ugandans are very stubborn. I sometimes get very pissed with Ugandans to the extent that I even feel like even not talking about Uganda anymore. But still something pushes me that there is no anywhere we shall go to if we let this country of ours be destroyed. Tewale wo jako genda apart from Uganda. Soko murire gwe nyabo, gwe sebo, gwe muganda wange, gwe tata wange, gwe ani. Soko murire. Tata wo nganamaze okuzaaliddwa yamugambe bwenti waliwo kilala waliwo omulala ojja kubeera mu when there is no Uganda. Will you go and say somewhere else when there is no Uganda? This is our country. This is our Canaan. Ojukira mu Bible bagamu nti aba Israelites bavudde mu Egypt, the lands of slavery or the bondage, land of bondage, bagenze to Canaan. Kakati fega bana Uganda Canaan eno is Uganda. Kanani yafe ili Uganda ochegera. Kakati fitunaku, we need to do all it takes to ensure that we protect what we have found here, so that those one who will come after us tomorrow also find the privilege that we found in that time. Oh, we are very selfish to the extent that we want to destroy everything today. Oyagala ku malo ebintu byonna, oyagala ku gweje kuntaka, oyagala destroy, gweje kuchi, oyagala kola chi, everything you want to destroy them. How will people who come after you, people you call your children, how will people who are going to come after you, people you call your children, people you call your grandchildren, survive in this Uganda if we destroy all we have? You are quiet when Museveni and his government are borrowing a lot of money from foreign companies like Bank of Uganda, IMF, and they're borrowing money. They're coming with it to Uganda. You are not even concerned about them, how the money is being used. You are not concerned about how the money is being used. And you say you're a citizen of Uganda. You say, fe gabana Uganda, uli munu Uganda. And yeah, what are you doing good for Uganda? What are you doing good for Uganda? Or you want to just be a Ugandan just by name because you're a Ugandan? My friend, you need to take an extra mile. You cannot continue keeping quiet when things are happening around. You know me, what pains me most? We have borrowed excessively to fund very useless projects that do not pay. Sometimes we even find there is a lot of scandals, and you see when the auditor, by the time the Auditor General comes and begin warning Mutebire, or Mutebire comes and begin warning Museveni and Matia Kasaija and the Parliament that we have borrowed enough, we need to restrain from borrowing. And you find the Uganda Revenue Authority says that we are going on to be in position of raising revenue 18.5 trillion shillings in the financial year 2021-2022. And you find Museveni and his government and Parliament is coming. They are projecting to use in the financial year 2021-2022 45 trillion shillings. That means they are going to borrow most of the money. The rest of the money has to be borrowed because they don't have the money. They have to borrow it. So, is this how we want things to go? Is this how we want things to go? Is this how we want things to go? And you're not talking anything. You're very comfortable. Hey, isn't ya? Hey, isn't ya? You're a Ugandan. Constitutionally, first of all, let me talk. You hear the other time Chakulani was talking about a peaceful demonstration. Peaceful demonstration is constitutional. When the citizens of the country are dissatisfied with a particular thing or with a particular happening in a country, you can go and express your anger or your grievances in the street by doing a peaceful demonstration. Tolina kugenda kubachi kuno yo muntu, or tolina kugenda kuyocha taya, tolina kugenda kukore. There was a time I was talking to President Robert Sentamu Chakulani. I told him, you see, sometimes it's not necessary that it is noob guys who go and burn these tires. You see, sometimes when like, for instance, President Robert Sentamu Chakulani has called for a peaceful demonstration, which is, of course, on, and I think we are to, by the way, you expect more in the coming days. There are some many more things coming in a few days. You expect them to come. When he calls upon you, you listen to him, and we do the needful. I need to tell you one thing. Sometimes, even these guys of the CMI, even these guys of the issue, even these guys of State House, they come and implant their own guys to come and begin burning tires in streets. Then they will report to media. You see, they've started the violence. So the police now comes to justify tear gas, boom, live bullet, boom, everything, bah, kidnap, boom, everything, boom. And you say, this was a violent demonstration. Yet in the real sense, noob guys were not doing a violent demonstration. They were doing a peaceful demonstration, like that of Segrinya. Segrinya has been remanded to Chitale. Yeah? You see comrades like Mubiro is arrested and taken in prison, actually kidnapped, after being betrayed. He's kidnapped and taken to prison. And tried in. You see, we have really abused this army court martial. They are trying citizens, innocent citizens who even do not have any military background into the court martial. Why do you take an innocent citizen? You know this is an innocent citizen. In your heart, you know this is an innocent citizen. You take him, you take him to prison. I mean, you take him and try him in court martial, in army court martial. But you found a military attire or a military thing in his home or in his or her home. Is it really true? Are you honest to yourself? I don't know. What could Mubiru be doing with the army attire? Oh, which army attire were they meaning? You get my point? Army attire chi bali kuyogera mu. Kuchegera. Tusola kumbura mwendi mwafunye army attire. Semanya army equipments. Oh, semanya biachisiru bilichi in Mubiru's place. What was it? They can't take it. Eh? Tusola kumbura and you're trying him in court martial. If they want for the army. And you say this is the real thing. Hey, Ugandans are doing well. Oh, we are doing very well in Uganda. Oh, we are what? And you find this, you see, youth fighting against youth. You see, when you find a country like a country where young people begin fighting against young people for negative, ill kind of things, which is happening in Uganda, of course, by the way. Museveni pays young people from NRM who claim to be NRM, which I do not know whether they are NRM, to come and fight guys who are in NUP, or guys who are in FDC, or guys who are in what? And we say that is normal. I think that is not normal. I think we need to do something about it. This is not the way things should be going. Because let me tell you one thing, my fellow comrades. I've seen this country. You wait and see. I'm telling you, you wait and see. In a period of only 5, okay, let me say 6 years. I said 6 years. Miaka, miaka mukaga. Miaka mukaga. Mujakula wichi jakubera mu Uganda. Even those who say that I'm comfortable right now will be crying. I am telling you. Now, the other time, let me talk about the issue of taxation. You are talking about tax. The other time, this guy stated, boo, first of all, you see, initially, there was what I called, there was what I called free coffee trade in Uganda. Free coffee trade go olina capacity ku exporting a coffee yo o sola ku preparing coffee yo o gende o twale coffee yo wawero o fune market enungi nga raw material chegera nga musazi numujukira chichirimu bajidese chichi bajita coffee bill kati mu coffee bill wale omuntu like you find there's only one person who has been licensed to export coffee from Uganda. Only one person or 2 people, or specifically of people who have been licensed to export coffee from Uganda. That means they monopolize. You know, this now economics. They monopolize. There is what called monopoly in coffee business in Uganda, whereby you find somebody comes and decide for the producer of coffee how much is supposed to decide, how much is supposed to pay the coffee, or how much is supposed to pay for the coffee from that person, or is supposed to buy the coffee from that person or from the farmer. So when they decide for you, that means, like for instance, let me say, in Uganda, coffee could be sold at, let me say, like 10,000, like 5,000 shillings, 1 kg. Yet you find outside Uganda, like in Kenya or like in Germany, a kilogram of coffee is being sold at 7,000. I mean, at 20,000 Ugandan shillings. So let me say like at $400. Let me say like $100. $100, that's almost 300,000 something like that. Let me say, like I'm giving you an estimate. So he makes big profit. You see, let me tell you one thing, The similar scenario happened. When they found out that coffee was bringing a lot of money to Ugandans, let me say from Central, where those people grow coffee, some part of East in Busoga, and some other parts of Uganda, they had to bring what they call coffee bill to chase very many people out of the business of coffee. As if that was not enough, when Museveni came to know that sugarcane has a lot of day businesses, those who are in Busoga, you can tell me, Abantu Busoga, Ginger area, you have grown sugarcane for how many years? How many years have you grown sugarcane? And why is it not impacting positively in the lives of the Basogas? You find the worst things in Uganda happens in Busoga. You find jiggers is still in Busoga. You find poor education system is still in Busoga. Poor roads in Busoga. Everything in Busoga. Why? You have grown sugarcane for years and years. For years. Your ancestors, have lived in sugarcane. You tell me, why have you not developed that now? You people of Busoga. And you still think things are okay. Leaving that aside, let's leave this. They brought sugarcane bill. Now they've monopolized this thing here. Now, the other time, when maize was being banned, Ugandan maize was banned by Kenya. Ugandan maize was banned by Burundi. Me, I did what I call agricultural. I did agriculture. I know what I call aflatoxins. I know conditions which lead to aflatoxin development and which leads to the health hazards like aflatoxins. I saw those maize. I'm telling you, those maize do not have the problems that this Kenyan government or whoever has been claiming on ban of maize. I stated that this could be a trick by Museveni and his government to begin bringing issues of licensing people who should be exporting maize. Inzenga is a strike machine. Tata, my mother is a nurse by profession. My father has been, he's a teacher by profession, but has left teaching and all this stuff. But now, in our family, we do what we call subsistence agriculture. First of all, I need to tell you one thing. As Northerners, we have not survived during this COVID-19 because of the good policies of Museveni. We've survived because there is rain. In Kube Tonya,
kumacha fe to via from buliri tugenda ku home side tulima size yentaka fe tusobola kulima ga twa planting like a kasoli obijanjalo obichi fe tulina ku plantinga then to harvestinga. That is what happens. Now when climate change comes, what will happen? Yeah? I'm telling you, we have not survived because Museveni loves northern Uganda or Museveni loves a certain region. Because there is still rain, free rain, given from God. We dig, we plant. And now when we grow maize, we want to sell the surplus of maize. And you are saying you have to license maize for us to export maize or for us to sell. You know, by the way, in Uganda, a kilogram of maize is 400 shillings. In Kenya, a kilogram of maize, if you are to put in Uganda shillings, is 8,000 shillings. So kombrire. Eh? So, like Amabura Mazima, we need to wake up. All this I'm trying to tell you, to open up your eyes. As a citizen of Uganda, what role are you playing in this country to ensure that you build a better nation? We say we are in a struggle. What role are you playing in the struggle? What role are you playing in the struggle? You as an individual. What roles are you playing in the struggle as an individual? Before even you say, let's go as a team, let's go as a... What role are you playing in a struggle as an individual? You say you're in a struggle. You need to know all these things here. Because if you do not plan life, or if you just go because you see other people are in a struggle, you just go, wow, like that. You are wasting time. You are a very big joke. So, you need to open up your eyes. You need to know what target are we aiding, or what are we seeing, or what is the main mission in this struggle here that we want to achieve. When you really target it, then you work towards it. If you are saying that the reason as why you have joined the struggle is to ensure that you advocate for economic independence in Uganda. Economic independence in Uganda. Then you advocate for economic independence at whatever cost. Even you sacrifice all what you have, even your life, for the economic independence. You see, in a scenario whereby somebody continues remaining a beggar, you continue begging. Like, for instance, that's how Museveni escaped all these guys whom they call themselves NRM activists, or what. He escaped them in such a way that he gives you money and keeps you wanting more money from him. You keep wanting more money. You get it. He doesn't give you money to change your life. This is what very many people forget about. That's why you see guys are like full figure crying all over. You find guys like who are crying all over. But these are things that I don't want to take myself to. These are lost citizens. The full figures are whatever. I don't see that we should be fighting them, or we should even be talking about them. What we should be talking about is Uganda. Uganda is bigger than any of us. Uganda is bigger than even Museveni himself. Museveni was tasked to administer the duties of governance, but not that Uganda is his home, or is his country. We own this country. This is our home. This is our everything. The moment we keep quiet and then we watch everything that is happening, and we just keep a look from the background. But when Chagulanyi calls for a peaceful demonstration, you are just there seated. You are watching the live stream of NBS or NTV. You're watching it from NTV or NBS, but Chagulanyi is on the street. Why don't you go and join him? If you know that what for you want to keep watching, you're a spectator, eh? Musazino, Muriomu, Ali player. Muriomu ali kugenda kusamba mupiira Gachagula ngamu ffe tugende kusamba mupiira Muriomu agende kusamba mupiira tosobola kumbula buni nti nze gojako beera wale ojako laba nze ndi kusamba mupiira ffe nze ne Kyagulanyi ffe tuli kusamba mupiira gwe oli spectator spectator yaki tetulina kubeera gas spectator tulina kubeera like we need to you see these are things that we need to really sober up on. Let's learn to do things as a team. Teamwork is very, very important. In any organization, if there is no what we call teamwork, even in Uganda here, this struggle that we are talking about, that we've been championing and that we are still championing and that we are still to push even more harder tomorrow.